Hello, everyone, and welcome to another video on Tana. Wow, it's been a while since I said that. I haven't made these videos for quite a while, but this was a good occasion to start making one again. Recently, Tana released something that I've been waiting for quite a long time, and that's its full API and even MCP server. For those who don't know, an MCP server is a quick and easy way to connect an AI agent to something, in this case, Tana. Tana always had sort of native AI integration. Of course, when you press the spacebar, you can chat about nodes. But often I was sort of eager to want to chat with my nodes in Claude Code or Codex or some other system. And up until now, that was possible, but you needed to go through a lot of hoops. And this recent edition made it a lot easier. The only way to enable it is to update the desktop app to the latest version, go to local API settings and check this little box here. It will auto-install the MCP server in Cloud Code, but I also got it easily working in Codex. Just go on the Slack or read the documentation and you'll find out how that works quite easily. Now, an MCP server is basically a connection, and you can see here if you run /MCP, in this case, it's the Tana local MCP, and it says connected, so we have a connection. Now, what we already could do in the previous sort of world with the input API was easily create stuff, and of course we can still do that. Hey, can you create a to-do item on my Tana Today page to remind me to call my mother? Now, in that case, it will simply create that to-do. Hopefully, of course, it's always the demo effect, but usually this goes quite well. And you can see, hey, call mom. The interesting part here is that before we only had input, and if you made a mistake, you were kind of screwed. But now, if you say, oh no, I made a mistake, it's not call my mother, I meant call my best friend. And in this case, we can actually update nodes, and you can see it's quite snappy in this case. Of course, it's tagged it with a to-do tag, and that's because Claude already knows my preference for these kinds of things. But it's also possible to remove tags, add tags, create tags. All of that shebang is now possible. But for me, the main thing actually is searching for stuff. So let's go. I remember during COVID, I created a Zettel, and it must be somewhere in Tana. I think it's about win and help win. Can you retrieve it for me? And this is how I often interact with AI and Tana. I use it to search through my notes, find stuff, link stuff, and here you can see, hey, I read it. So now I got this Zettel from someplace, but I don't remember where. Can you find out where I first found out about this thing or where it comes from? Now, often when I get content into AI, because it starts sort of like empty every time, but over time, it's sort of you grab more stuff in there, and you can see, hey, I found it. Oh, it was during the Tim Ferriss show. Oh, cool. Oh, it was Balaji. So in this case, you can sort of like dig into topics like, okay, so Balaji describes it as who is this guy? And of course, now we're also combining information from the AI in its own training set with the stuff from Tana. So I'm guessing in this case, yes, it will answer it from its own sort of like a memory. Can you search the web for maybe the latest podcast he was on? So this is a great way to sort of dive into this kind of information. Of course, it will take a little bit of time, but hopefully it will find something. Let's see. There we go. It looks like the recent was the 10x Capital podcast. Could you send that link to my today page? Put it in a to-do so I can listen to it and don't forget. So there we go. And there we go. So this is just a very easy way to basically chat with AI around a certain subject. I started with reading my notes and using all of these stuff. If I'm now too lazy to sort of listen to this, maybe we can find the transcript. Can you find the transcript to this sort of like podcast? I don't know if I have time to actually fully listen to it. Let's see what it pops up with. Often podcasts are now auto transcribed, so it would make sense. It's looking and evaporating at this time. There's no public transcript. Okay, or at least it cannot find it. But there's some chapter markers, so I can see it's about China, regulation, and stuff like that. 50 minutes with Balaji doing 91% of the talking. Interesting. This is one of the reasons why I like Claude, by the way. It has a little bit of this cheeky attitude. It just feels more human. Codex, it's very smart. It's great for reviewing code. It's also great for writing some code, but it's just, it's not the greatest person, but Claude is. So here we have a very brief overview of how I use sort of like this connection of Tana and the MCP in Claude. But to end with, I also wanted to show a little bit of something I'm working on. For the people who might have noticed, I have created an app a while ago. And it's called Inbox AI, and basically it does voice automation on the Mac, but it never had MCP support. At some point, basically, I stopped developing it because the model stopped being, or like stuff stopped happening. But now since December, there's been so much new stuff happening with also OpenClaw, but also with the new Tana MCP server. And interesting enough, I really want to see if I can get this app sort of to a state where it can be similar to OpenClaw, but a little bit easier. But one of the things that I found out, and that's really something like the assistant mode, like the advanced voice mode of OpenAI, it pairs really well with the MCP because this one is super fast and this one is super fast, and it gives it this sort of like cool impression. The only disadvantage is this is the real-time GP. I think it's still a 4.0 model or something like that. It doesn't even have reasoning. So yeah, compared to something like Claude, it's not the sharpest tool in this yet, but at least it's fast. Hey, are you there?
Hey, Andre, I'm right here.
Cool.
What can I...
How about you check out my Today page in Tana? I think there's 2 to-dos on it. Can you list them?
Here are the 2 to-dos listed on your Today page in Tana. 1. Call best friend. 2. Listen to Balaji Srinivasan on 10x Capital Podcast.
Cool. Can you like check that call best friend off? Because I think I did it this morning.
All set.
Actually, just remove the entire node. I don't think we need to track it.
Got it.
I think here you can see like the benefit of speed. Like it's so snappy, and yeah, that makes it like really cool to do stuff. But you also notice that, especially since this is the somewhat older model, yeah, it tends to break down when you really asked it to do reasoning and you want to interact with it. And it's just not, it hasn't really been updated as much. If you use something like the voice mode, in this case, for instance, Sonnet 4.5, it's a lot better. But then you get a little bit of a slower thing. Of course, here we were using this as a bridge, by the way. So we basically, I said something, it transcribed it, then it did its thing. And you can also notice that it wasn't as snappy, but you don't notice it as much, especially when you're in a voice conversation. Yeah, it doesn't stand out as much. But let's try this one and then we'll wrap up. Hey there. Do you have access to Tana? And if so, can you list the to-dos on my Today page?
Yes, I have access. You have 1 to-do on your Today page. Listen to Balaji Srinivasan on 10x Capital Podcast.
Do you know the guy? Who is that? Ah, didn't work. Always with the last demo. Did you hear me?
You have one to-do on your Today page.
Yeah, we saw that. Well, you can see that this is still like, it's a little bit easier just to use this in a sense. And I'm still working on this to bridge it. So one of the things that originally wasn't there was this real-time mode that you can keep talking, but transcription has come a long way since I last did this. And this is like crazy. I last updated this like a couple of months ago, but a lot of stuff has changed. One of the things I also added is OpenClaw. OpenClaw has this very cool sort of bridge where you can connect to it directly. For those who don't know it, OpenClaw is basically either Claude Code or Codex in your messaging app with access to everything. It's a big thing that happened in January. It's really cool. I bought a Mac Mini for it, so it has its own little home, and it has replaced most other AI tools for me, but it's definitely not ready for the public. But OpenClaw actually has a way to connect to it, and then you can also talk to it in here. I'll make a separate video on how all of this stuff works, also maybe on OpenClaw. For now, this was the little teaser what I'm working on, and I'm hoping you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just find me on Slack or on Twitter, where I'll be sharing more and more of this stuff. Yeah, been nice doing this again, and see you later.